to this business we're in, and that's to provide jobs. In the years between 1933 and 1935, they called this program the WPA. In appreciation for your wonderful idea called the J.C. Penney District 8117 Custom Bedding Cooperative Assistance Program, we would like to present you with this little memento of our appreciation.
Thank you, Jim.
My pleasure.
Yeah, that's appreciate that.
Just open that and
Fine, kind
Fine,
words.
love.
I'm sure that this is a exciting gift there, Jim. I'm sure this, get these tablets out here where you can get them in the picture, right? I'm going to need those.
Jim said we had to get a picture of this, whatever's in there.
well, this is the one we got in just last week. Customer bought it and put it on the bed one time, and so she said it was not the right color and it didn't go right with her room, so she decided to bring it back.
Oh, that's a fancy box. Can we afford those boxes? Those are awful fancy.
Bamber.
Nothing but the finest for the best.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter says, why not the best?
Well, why not the best?
Little old lady only
Oh, man, what a deal. I tell you that.
Only used it once, huh?
Yeah, I only used it once. Oh, my aching back.
Hotel.
Oh, man, alive. Fantastic. Fantastic. I'll have no trouble. Say, I'll come in handy. Probably need that in operations, Jim.
Warren, one of the letters that came from Kavanaugh, he writes several letters. At the bottom it says, and please take good care of Warren. You know, and so in your office, this thing here is very important. So that's part of your job description.
That's part of my job. Okay, you want me to open this now?
Yeah,
That's done up very well. Bill, we're just...
I have many hidden assets.
Yes. Oh, well.
Yes.
What was that big word you used? I knew the first part of it.
Yeah, you do. Oh, this is a nice box, too. I don't know how... Look at it. There we go. Look at you. That is all right. I mean to tell you.
I picked that up at the island when I was down
Right outside of
You
here.
got it. Yeah, you got to be kidding.
Like you said, you don't always take your wife every place. I didn't tell you the whole story.
Once you don't know words, you...
Sometimes. Sometimes the fellows that deep appreciation and good luck.
Well, thanks. Bill, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Do you want me to open this now?
Yeah, I think that.
Is it appropriate, huh?
Yeah.
You know, this is...
Mayhaw will send in his speech to you.
Oh, yeah,
He's not very organized today.
I think he's pretty well organized. Like before, I mean, he had a pretty good job today. That's great. May success be happiness in everything you do, and signed by you fellows. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Bob, he got off to a slow start and ended up with a slower start, I guess, or a slower finish. I hope his wife, I guess his wife was sick already. I hope she's doing well. Yeah, I hope she's doing well. Wow, look at that. That is fantastic.
There's a little,
Just fantastic.
they have a little engraving here, Warren. Just
Oh, yeah. District 8117 and the date 2/22/79 on there, which is, that is just unbelievable.
Those zinc tablets, more good for sight.
That is fantastic. That'll help me a great deal. You know, that's interesting because the watch I'm wearing is about 10 years old and staggering a little bit, and that's very appropriate. That's really greatly appreciated.
zinc helps the perspiration keep from turning that green too.
Is that what does it? Oh, well, I'm gonna use those. That'll fix me up. That and the peanuts will take care of the whole program, right?
Get you
No
home and
problem.
it'll take care of everything after you get home.
Right. Well, that is more than appreciated and certainly unexpected. I expected to have some fun tonight and sort of fellowship a little bit, but that really was an unexpected thing, and I really do appreciate it, and I can assure you that it'll last 10 years long, keep me on the road 10 years longer now. You know, one of the interesting things about going into Pittsburgh, Phil, we were talking about the length of time that I might be in Pittsburgh, and we were kidding. Somebody said, well, you'll be there 6 years. And I said, well, no, I'm thinking of following Phil's pattern. You know, I'm not really looking at that 6-year program. But, you know, one of the greatest funds, I guess, in a Penney company is the fun of something like this, the fellowship of the men and the people you really get to know. And, you know, I like to be results-oriented, but I also like to be one of the guys, too. And as I came tonight, I thought, well, I better have my guns ready. I hate to go anywhere that I'm not prepared. And I thought, well, the best thing I can do tonight after this thing is over is to review 1978 operating statements. That really one by one. I said, you know, really. So I brought the operating, and I thought we'd go over those and discuss them because they're pretty close to my heart and my wallet also. And I, you know, it would be interesting to do that. And I have each one pulled out here so that I have comments on each one of them. And it probably won't take but another hour to go through these and get all this information down.
Get this off the
Tea
tape.
break.
Gotta go.
I don't have to go, but Fred looks in trouble. Thanks, trouble.
He's got the operating statements, I am in trouble.
Just cross your legs.
I do have a news flash here though that you'd all be interested in. I thought this was very appropriate. It's a news flash and it shows a man out in front of a penny store and it says, "Flash, store management overthrown." And I thought that was very appropriate. It's labeled Scranton, Pennsylvania. And I thought, you know, I've been wondering why that store's been doing so well. Now I know.
Incognito.
Incognito. Management overthrown. You remember that one? That goes back a ways for you.
Yes, Joe Statler.
Yeah.
See him without my glasses.
Yeah, that's somebody.
Hey, there's Bill, Wild Bill on the end.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one that was taken. That goes back pretty close to the store opening, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To your store. I thought that was sort
Yeah.
of interesting. They
nice.
made the Penny News. This was an insert in what was referred to what they call in those days corporate news. I don't know you remember that little folder we had entitled Corporate News, and this was an article on Scranton in here, and it was a picture of Phil's store and a successful promotion and had store manager overthrown. So I thought, well, I've learned the secret of Scranton's success up there. Back a few years ago, they got things straightened out. You know, now everything's going fine.
Before they put me on
No
TV
wonder
and
he's
then
so
they...
good playing tennis.
Huh?
Yeah, right. See, that's right. See, that's why he's so good at tennis. Norm, he really,
They cheat. They cheat a lot.
cheats a lot. Phil, I'm going to miss you because really, right now we're still undefeated.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
And I hate to leave and not give the guys a chance. I know some of the fellows really wanted a chance to take us, but it looks like we might have a real problem with that.
But you've been telling me for weeks you've been carrying him all this time.
I want you to know one thing, but out of that tennis court,
Hear what Phil said?
yeah. Well, I'm afraid he's right. Because I'll tell you, if you want to play with a good tennis player, play with this guy. He's pretty good. But it was sort of fun to take on those young guys and see the frustration that they had when they tried to whip us. I'll tell you, it was.
They played hard.
They really did. Oh, I mean, they not only did they play hard, but they came out determined they were going to win.
You want to see see Bill get in, you know, you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah. Bill would have given anything to have won that. He would have sold out his mother to have won that tennis game. Yeah, we had a lot of good fun with that. I enjoy that. The things you do, I think, like that, you remember quite a long time. It's interesting to go around the room and talk about some of the acquaintances you've had. You mentioned several of them tonight, but I'm not going to take a lot of time. But I've known many of you for a number of years, some of you more recently. And I think that as you talk about Penney people moving on and being changed in jobs, most of us experience this quite a lot in our life in the Penney Company. You either are involved in moving yourself or moving somebody in your organization, and I guess the thrill and the excitement of the Penney Company is the involvement in the movement of people, because it is our company. Our company is built on that. Our company is successful because you and I are willing to take on new assignments. In some cases, even with perhaps some fear and concern as we move on. Sometimes not knowing what's going to happen when we move, but we take it, we're excited about it, we go to that next assignment, and by hook or by crook, we make it a success. And ultimately, that's the success of the Penney Company. And I was talking to, I felt extremely good about this move, because in moving to Pittsburgh, there are two people in particular that called me in regard to my move to Pittsburgh. And one of the persons in talking to me said, you know, when Dave Miller told me he was going to ask you to become regional operation manager in Pittsburgh, he said, I told him lots of luck, because I don't think you're going to budge Warren out of Philadelphia. I think he wants to stay there, and he said, I don't think he's going to move. And I said to the fellow that was saying this, I said, there's only one problem with it. I said, you know, if at our house we took a vote, all three of us, and we voted not to go. And then the next morning, when I remembered that I was with the Penney Company, and it was the Penney Company that was asking me to go to Pittsburgh, then we had to talk about it again, and I said, wait a minute, you know, I've never yet turned down any opportunity in the Penney Company anywhere for any reason, and right now, age 54 isn't any time to start. I think I better do what the Penney Company wants me to do, or has asked me to do, and so we called up and said we're ready to move on. Now, I think many of you who know me know that if I really wanted to do what I personally want to do, I would be staying in Philadelphia. Because Philadelphia not only is a place I like, but you know, my second home down in Ocean City, New Jersey is pretty close to my heart, and it's awfully nice to be able to run down there on Saturday or on Sunday or in the summertime, and obviously we'll retire in the summertime in Ocean City when we do retire. So, you know, from a personal standpoint, I had every reason to stay in Philadelphia, and absolutely no reason to go anywhere to another job. But again, really, my feeling was that I just couldn't see myself not moving when the Penney Company asked me to move. And I hope that not only you guys, but the people that work with you have that same spirit. I think that's extremely important in our company. I think it's the lifeblood of our company. And I think when the company asks us to do something, and when they want us to move along on an assignment, or any of our key people, we owe it to the company to see that people do respond and move on to that challenge and do a job and make yourself eligible for continued growth on that basis. And anybody that isn't thinking that way, I don't care whether they're 40, 50, or 55, or whatever, I think that's the spirit with which you have to go into the job. Frankly, I think you can be just as excited about a move. Again, you know, to me right now, the farthest thing from my mind's retirement. I'm sure you understand that. And all I'm concerned about is staying eligible now in my new job. You know, what can I do to try to be eligible to make a contribution somewhere, however small, to the Penney Company. I do have a number of things about each one of you guys here, not your operating statement. I was going to go over these. I've got some some dirt on all you fellows in here, way back from some of your people. I never like to go in a place that I'm not prepared, so I do have, here's one on Bob Cross right on top, Bob, so I got back, I really got back to some of your old cronies and found out a little bit about Bob Cross. But the more I think about what I've got down here, the more I think right now I'm not interested in going over these because
We can take it.
I got some interesting comments. Jim's anxious to hear what you guys are up to.
I got the tape recorder on you. Better than the Late Show, huh, Jim?
Better than the Late Show. No, we really have had we've had a busy day and we've had a long day. I'm gonna put these things back in the folder. And it took a lot of research to get this stuff. And all the people I've had involved in are gonna be a little upset that I didn't use it tonight, I think. But I think I'll just put that back in the pocket and leave it there because I think it would be just as well if we, as we've gone through tonight, if we sort of leave it on a high note. You know how I am. I just really am excited about the district. I'm excited about your stores, and I want to say this. I think right now in District 8117, and I said this to Dave Miller during the last 2 days, I think we have probably the best assembly of penny managers that I've ever seen in one district right now in place in Philadelphia, and I am sincere about that. I think we have our stores well set. Now, that doesn't mean everything's going just the way you want it at the moment, but I mean we have our stores well set. I think we have management in place, and I think in most of your stores now we have our management teams that are pretty well in place. And I think you guys are really positioned right now in Philadelphia and in the Philadelphia district to do a real good job of coming out with the kind of operations that each one of you are going to be proud of personally. And you're the guy that has to be proud of your operation first. You know, not me, not the Penney Company, but you. You're the guy that you've got to satisfy. You're the guy that's got to be happy with what's going on in your penny store. And once you've satisfied yourself, and once you've set goals personally and you've met them, then of course you know what it means to be a penny manager who has the freedom to run his store and get the kind of results that we talked about this morning. And I think that's what makes our company strong. I have the greatest respect for penny management position. Frankly, I consider myself a penny manager. I always have, and I guess always will, because the penny manager is the strength of the company. The penny store is the company. And if we forget that in the Penney Company and the way we've built this company around that heritage, we're in trouble. So let's just keep the penny store strong with strong penny management, strong penny managers, and let's keep building the company on that basis. And if we do, we'll be in great shape as a company. Based on tonight's comments, I guess one of the things that is extremely fortunate for all you guys is that a guy who evidently didn't make it merchandise at least is going to get a shot at operations. You can't be any better off than that, you know. And the more I thought about it, as I sat here, I thought, you know, I've always known the Penney Company knows where to put you at the right time and the right place. And I said, they've done it again. They got me out of merchandise into operations. So that's a break for all you guys who are merchants, and maybe it's not so hot for the guys in operations. I'll get in there and mess that place up a little bit. But I appreciate your cooperation. And you know, 1978 was a tough year. But as far as I'm concerned, you don't look back. You know, what we've done in 1978, we've done. That's history. For 2 or 3 of you in the room, it was good. And for several of us, it was so-so. But you know, we worked at 1978. We did what we thought we needed to do. We did some things that weren't as good as we thought they were going to be. But, you know, that's water over the dam. You know, we can't go back and redo that year. So I don't look back on 1978 with any kind of an attitude, a negative attitude about what we did. We had a lot. You guys put out a lot of work. You worked a lot of hours. All of us had our shoulder to the grindstone, and we did as much as we could to bring 1978 out. But let's forget 78 and let's move out into 79 and let's have a great year. And I do sincerely appreciate the cooperation that each of you have given. When I've been in your stores, Phil, when I've been up in Scranton, we've always had a good time in your store, worked together, and have been able to agree on what we want to do, and I think that's what it's all about. I know as we visit your store, Fred, in the last few months, we've talked about the operation. We've been able to sit down and discuss our goals and our opportunities, and those objectives have been well received, and you and your team are anxious to move into that direction. And Bob, we've had some good sessions in your store, and together we've talked about what we need to do. Jack, just been in your store recently, and we've talked about 1979, and I think enthusiastically agree on the objectives we have to meet there. And I know, Bob, you're looking forward to a 1979. It's going to be a good springboard for you. I think it can be a great year. Fortunately, I don't think we're going to have to worry about Christian Mall down there in 1979, so I think that we can meet some of the goals and objectives we've talked about down in your store. I've enjoyed working in your store. The cooperation and the reception has always been excellent, and I think that's part of it. Don, you always learn something, Don, and tonight I've been in your store, and we've always talked about a lot of programs, but tonight you taught me something. You taught me a stockroom program, so I'm going to go out and really make that work.
I think everybody here knows who taught who what there.
So
He'll be down tomorrow.
we're really going to go to work on that. Well, I think the last time I saw Don in Butler, Pennsylvania, he was sleeping in a display window with a bunch of foam pillows or something, so I don't know. But anyhow, I used to do a few things that were a little unorthodox. Bill, in your store, we discussed 1979, and any time I've been in your store, I guess you probably have every reason in the world to throw me out once in a while because of all the things that seem to come up that are not a problem, just those little nitty-gritty things that get in the way. But the spirit of cooperation has been great there, and I really have enjoyed working with you again in Langhorne. Norm, your store has certainly matured, and we've been able to have a lot of fun in your stores. We watched you and your people grow up there, and your response to the things that we've talked about, I think, are excellent. I've appreciated it. You're not new to me either. We go back to some Cleveland days and have known each other for quite a while. And of course, Ron, we've bumped elbows on several occasions, staff, what have you, district. And Ron has not only shouldered the responsibilities as store manager, but as MAC chairman, and I appreciate the support you've given us and given me personally on MAC, Ron. It's been fantastic. John, as you say, we go back to a few years, and you never know when your paths are going to cross again in this company somehow, but I think your excitement and enthusiasm and your support has been well received by me in your store. I appreciate your effort. Bill, you're the newest member of the team. I think you're going to have a lot of fun in this district. You're going to have a lot of spirited competition. There are a lot of guys that are not going to let you get ahead of them in this district. I think that's good because it keeps everybody on their toes. But I know you're going to like it here. I know you're going to be excited. Proud to have had you on our team as long as you've been on the team, and I know you'll be a great asset to Philadelphia. Jim, as you said, we went back a number of years, and I appreciate your support and your dedication to working on the things that we've talked about in your store. It's exciting to look and see what can happen when we talk about programs. I know I've mentioned this to Jim before, but when we went into Salina, we had a 9.8 selling cost, and Jim's had a profit plan up for 10.6 selling cost. And he and I discussed it for a while, because I couldn't figure out why somebody was coming in to set up a 10.6 versus a 9.8, and was at the same time going to call himself manager. You know, we really don't need a manager to do that, I don't think. You know, almost the girls could have done that. So we discussed that a little bit, and Jim finally turned that thing into a 9.1 selling cost, I guess, or 9.2.
And 8.6 last year.
Yeah, it came down even below that. So, you know, that's the spirit of cooperation and getting things done in penny stores that we need to get done because we're all working together. But Jim, I appreciate your cooperation. New store opening, everything through Allentown, it's been exceptional. And Russ, you've been on the staff and a manager, both in Philadelphia, and you've made a contribution in both areas. And I appreciate your support of me on the staff, many times doing things for me. And of course, as a manager, the job you've done over in Germantown. Several of the fellows have said that Germantown certainly has to be one of the real trying spots for a good penny manager. And I said, that's true of everybody but Russ Montgomery. And I said, you know, Russ just takes those kind of things in stride, and he just knocks them off day by day and just comes right through with flying colors. So, you know, that's a lot of power in a little bag there, Russ. And I appreciate that. I think the attitude that you tackle your job with over there is fantastic. It's a penny attitude and a penny program. Those are the kind of things that make it all worthwhile. So all the things I had on the sheets I've thrown away, and I just wanted you to know that I appreciate your contribution to me personally in this district. And many thanks for the gift and for the evening. It'll be long remembered. We'll see you. We'll be around. Yeah, in a little while.
Good luck with the award.
Yeah.